Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Ty here, and it is Monetization Monday. That's right, we're kicking off a brand new series where I'm going to be doing all things YouTube Analytics Studio and my monetization journey. Now, I can't take full credit for that name. Obviously, other YouTubers have used that in the past, but I just like stealing other people's ideas. So we're going to go with it. So this is going to be video number 1 in what will probably be either a weekly or a bi-weekly series digging into the studio. In today's video, I'm going to do basically a high-level overview for those of you who don't know much about the studio yet. If you haven't posted any videos, this is going to be a really good primer for you to know what you're getting into once you do have videos in the studio. Or if you're an established creator and you've got a couple videos already posted and you want to just compare and contrast with another creator to see, what we're looking at, what we're thinking about, this is also going to be a good series for you as well. So let's jump right in. From our YouTube channel homepage, we're going to go and hit our profile on the top right and then YouTube Studio. Okay, so now that we're in our channel dashboard, you'll notice there's some options on the left-hand side. We're really only going to touch on 2 of these today. It's going to be analytics and then content. And in each section, I'm going to share with you some of the things that I've learned, especially for new YouTube content creators who are trying to get a handle of all the stuff that's in here. I've got a couple of tips of which metrics to look at specifically within the analytics section, and then also in the content section, how you can better optimize your videos when you upload them. So let's jump into the analytics first. And you'll notice we come right into our channel analytics dashboard. There's some options here at the top. We'll dig into those here in a second, but this is going to give you a really clean look of the number of views that your channel has, the number of watch time hours, and the number of subscribers that you have. So for those of you who are doing what I'm doing and you're trying to monetize your channel for AdSense, you're really going to want to pay attention to your subscribers and your watch time hours, because as you know, you need 1,000 subscribers and you need 4,000 watch time hours in order to get monetized with AdSense through YouTube. So these are going to be things you're going to want to pay attention to. As you scroll down, you'll see a running list of all of your videos. Obviously, I only have 3 as my channel's brand new, but you can see how many views each video has, and you can see the average view duration, which we'll talk about here in a second. So this will give you a really clean look of like, hey, which of my videos are performing the best and which ones are people sticking around to watch more of. So that's going to be the overview section. Let's jump into the content itself. Now, this is arguably the most important information you're going to get from your analytics dashboard. It is the number of impressions, the number of click-through rate, the percentage of click-through rate, and your average view duration across all of your videos. So why this is important is because the impressions is the number of times your video was put in front of another user, giving them the option to click on it. And your click-through rate is the percentage of the time that they actually clicked on it. So if you have a lower click-through rate, it could be an issue with your thumbnail or with your title not resonating with the viewers. So that's something you're going to want to maybe spend a little bit more time on. I don't know if 6.1% is any good. I feel like between 5 and 10% is probably good-ish. I know that on some videos, my first video in particular, I was over 6%. And I think some of that was to do with my thumbnail and the fact that I wrote, it sucks in my thumbnail. That's kind of a bold, almost like controversial statement to have in a thumbnail. So that may be why it got a higher click-through rate. But the other thing to look at too is your average view duration. So for me, it's 2 minutes and 45 seconds. But when you compare that to the total duration of my videos, I think I'm averaging around 11 minutes per video. People are not sticking around that long. So this is a lesson for me. This is a takeaway that I need to make sure when I'm posting content, it's more engaging, it's more compelling for people to want to stick around for longer in the video. So I have to make sure that I'm delivering on the value or the promise that I'm trying to make with my videos. So these are going to be some of the more important metrics to keep an eye on. And then as you scroll down, you'll be able to see how people are finding your videos. So for me, the overwhelming way people are finding my video is through browse features. It's almost 71%. And as you mouse over what browse features is, it's traffic from the homepage or the home screen, subscriptions, or other browsing features. So this is going to be interesting to keep an eye on, because essentially what this is YouTube putting my video in someone's home screen for them to click on. So that's a good thing. But on top of that, because of the niche that I'm in, this YouTube growth niche. A lot of the videos I'm going to be making are how-tos and tutorials and instructions. Hopefully, YouTube search becomes more of a percentage of the way people find my videos. So if they look for how can I create a YouTube channel or how can I learn about the analytics dashboard, they type that into YouTube and maybe my video gets served to them and that's how they find it and watch it. So this is something you're going to want to keep an eye on, is how are people finding your videos? And that way you can know if, YouTube is doing all the right things and recommending your videos. Now, as we scroll back up and we click over into audience, here's where you can see the number of unique viewers versus returning viewers. Now, I know my channel is still pretty new, so I'm actually missing a good chunk of data in here, but you can at least glean some early insights. So eventually you'll be able to know what other channels your audience is watching. So if what I start to see in here are other creators doing what I'm doing, then I'll know that YouTube is kind of categorizing my videos correctly, because it's kind of lumping me in with some of the other creators doing this YouTube growth niche. And then this also is going to be really important. When are your viewers on YouTube? This is going to help with scheduling your videos for upload so that you know the best time to reach your audience is when they're on more often. As you scroll down, you'll start to see age and gender demographics in addition to geography. And those things are also really important to pay attention to. So all in, I think from the analytics perspective, my takeaways are going to be under content, impressions, click through, average view duration, and what lessons can we glean from looking at this data. So for me, I'm 3 videos in. I think I need to do a better job of being more engaging and interesting during my videos. So that's going to be fun and interesting for me to try and figure that out. Okay. Last but not least, we're going to jump over into content, where I also have a few tips of things to look at and to pay attention to, specifically as you're uploading your videos to post. So let's jump over to content, and you'll see from this channel content view a list of all of your videos that you have published or scheduled for future release. You can take a look at the date, number of views, the number of comments, which is kind of cool to see, and then also your like to dislike ratio. So let's use my very first video as an example of some things that you should be checking out when you're uploading your videos. So we'll click into it here. We'll get to our video details. You can see your title, description, your thumbnail, your dedicated URL for the video itself. And then as you scroll down, there's a bunch more options. So the thing I want to stress in here is the importance of keywords. And I say that with respect to your title itself, the description, and then what I've recently learned is having keywords in both the title of your video and your thumbnail that you upload. So for example, here's the file name for this video, what it's like to start on YouTube. But on top of that, also the metadata of the file itself. So when you're thinking about your topics for your videos, you want to make sure that you're doing all the research in advance to make sure that it's a topic that people actually care about. And then on top of that, if you validate, hey, this isn't actually an interesting topic, people do search for it, you really need to come up with what are the primary keyword phrases and keywords themselves that people are looking for. Are people typing into Google and to YouTube when they're searching for this content? And those are the keywords that you're going to want to use as part of your file name, as part of your title, and as part of your description. So you'll notice from my description, I kind of put a lot of text in here, and I've really just written out in very plain English, what is this video about? And I've sort of written it and then rewrote it. So you'll notice there's a lot of redundancies in here, but that's intentional because I'm using a lot of keywords. On top of that, you want to have keywords in your title. And like I said, you want to have keywords in your file name as well. And that's going to be true for both your video and for your thumbnail. So the other thing I want to show you too is down here in your video description is chapters. Now, YouTube by default will try to create chapters for you if you enable the feature to do so. But I recommend putting in your own chapters because you'll be the one to have the best estimation as to when a specific topic or part of your video would start. So just make sure you put your timestamps in here. You just type them in, and then you can put in the title of your chapter, whatever you think it's going to be. Beneath that, I have all of my affiliate links. And then there's some other features down here, some other settings that you're going to want to pay attention to as well. So one other thing that I've recently learned is really important is how you categorize your own video. So as you scroll down, you'll come down to category and there's a drop down. So you want to make sure that you're picking the correct category type for the video that you're publishing. So if it's in my particular genre, the YouTube growth niche, a lot of my stuff is going to be how to or maybe education. So I think I'm probably going to be just picking how to for the foreseeable future on almost all of my videos, because a lot of the videos I'm going to be posting is going to be like how to do something similar to the video I'm doing right now. If you're playing an instrument, maybe you want to pick music. If you're telling jokes, maybe you want to do comedy. It really just depends on what your niche is, and that's going to help dictate what your content will be. Now, one other thing I want to hit in here as well that's pretty important is the end screen. So if you don't know what an end screen is, it's essentially a bit of time after the end of your video that gives your viewer an option to either subscribe to your channel or to click on other videos from your channel. And it could either be a video itself that you recommend or one that YouTube recommends for them, or it could even be a playlist. So it's a good idea to build playlists on your channels as well. And that way people can binge your content. When one video ends, it goes right to the next video in that series. So that's why I think creating a playlist is important. And then also plugging that playlist at the end of your video. So if they click on it, it'll then give them the option to binge that content. So this is what it looks like to edit your end screen. And you'll notice here at the end of this video, this is like right when I'm kind of wrapping up and it's transitioning into this background that has my name on it. You can manipulate where your video recommendation would go in addition to the subscribe button here. So in this case, I'm letting YouTube pick the video recommendation for that viewer. And then also I'm putting in my logo here where they can click on it to subscribe to the channel. So all this to say, this is just a really nice feature to put at the end of your video to keep your viewers watching more of your content. Okay, so that's the quick and dirty on the YouTube Analytics dashboard. There's obviously a lot more in here to dig into, but I just wanted to give you a high-level overview of the things that I'm looking at as I'm learning the studio itself with my first few videos posted. Of course, if there are things in here that you want to learn about or that you have questions about, feel free to put those in the comments. I'll do my best to research that and get back to you guys. And of course, if you've made it this far into the video, thank you so much for sticking around. And if you haven't quite made your first YouTube video yet, and you're on the fence, check out some of these other videos that I've posted on how to create your channel and then also how to overcome some of the fears of starting out. So as always, until next time.